Episode 9 of The Testaments begins with the Pearl Girls cleaning up blood off the ground. Honesty leads the charge, but this lust for bloodthirsty vengeance has rubbed off on Daisy. She's determined to get her revenge, and she knows just how to do it. Daisy rings the bell to signal the start of her period, and part of her knows that this will include a visit to Dr. Grove, which is where her real plan is going to be set into motion. Meanwhile, Becka gossips with Agnes, telling her that Daisy is a spy for Aunt Lydia. Becka warns Agnes not to mess up, otherwise she could be in serious trouble. When Daisy shows, with Honesty confirming that she's one of the Plums now, Becka isn't exactly happy. Right after she puts her clothes on, Daisy is given a last minute appointment with Dr. Grove. Agnes is concerned for her well-being and goes with her, while Huldah looks worried. In a dentist chair, Dr. Grove has no interest in touching Daisy. Instead, she gets up, rips her own clothes off, and starts screaming. She bolts out the door and accuses Grove of abuse. Daisy brings this same statement to the aunts, but Lydia sees through the facade and knows this is a reckless plan from Daisy to bring the doctor to justice. She's happy to turn the other cheek though. Off the back of this, and Becca's statement too, Agnes starts to cast doubts on Daisy. She has a feeling that she might be a spy after all, of course unaware at this point that she's actually on Mayday's side. That night, Aunt Lydia speaks to Commander Judd about the abuse. He's heard about this but always chalked it up to rumours. He's going to punish the guy no doubt, but is more bummed out about losing a good dentist than anything else. Lydia believes Becca's marriage should go through first before they do anything, to save besmirching her reputation. When Dr. Grove learns he's going to be reprimanded, he starts spiralling back home. Garth happens to be there and he overhears the situation involving Daisy. Knowing how serious this is, he decides to leave and confronts Daisy about it, angry that she's gone off script. Now Becka is angry and tries to attack Daisy at school, but Agnes sticks up for her. Of course, Agnes knows better than most what her father is like, and it all comes crashing down in an emotional chat between them in private. That night, Becka grabs a knife and attacks her father in the bath, stabbing him several times. This isn't a dream sequence though, and bloodstained, Becka heads downstairs and grabs her jacket, heading out in the night to Agnes's place. Becka presents herself, covered in blood, and calls it divine justice. Agnes helps get her friend cleaned up, but Becka wants to run away, admitting she'd do anything for her. Instead, Agnes lets her father and Paula know what's happened, who have brought Garth over to take her away. Unfortunately, they've also called the Eyes too, who grab Becka and lock her up in the back of a truck. So The Testaments returns this week with another episode that's under 40 minutes, and it's quite a shocking chapter. One that sees Becka arrested and taken away. However, this chain of events all comes about thanks to Daisy revealing she has her period so she can get closer to Dr. Grove. The decision to lie about the abuse is a risky one on Daisy's side. Lydia obviously knows she's lying, but is fine to let that go to get rid of the dentist. That guy is clearly not in the inner circle with the commanders, given Judd's flippant pity that he was a good dentist and not much else, and it's indicative of how little he actually cares about the girls' well-being and more about Gilead ticking over like normal. The interesting part with that ending though is that the Eyes appear to all be female. It could well be that they're taking Becka away to be reconditioned into being a handmaid. Now, I know there aren't any handmaids in Gilead right now, at least on the surface, but we have heard snippets of this across the season that they're still around. Agnes's father, of course, in the previous episode mentioning how Paula wanted to bring a handmaid in, being the most obvious example. Will we see any of them this season though, I wonder? Regardless, this has now set up a chain reaction for next week's finale, which promises to round everything out with a dramatic conclusion to this tale. But what do you guys think? What are your predictions for the finale? Do you think Agnes will find out the truth about who her real mother is? Will June make an appearance? And what is Becca's fate going to be? As always, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel. Your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.